Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Flack-Wetherald. I'm the owner of And Beyond and andbeyondimprov.com, and today our topic is forgiveness. There are some logistical things that you can do to make forgiveness a little bit easier and a little bit less abstract. Now, you might be wondering, what does forgiveness have to do with my ability to lead my team? Well, I'm glad you're asking that question, and that's exactly what we're going to get to today. So before I answer our question, what does forgiveness have to do with your ability to be a strong, effective leader? It's important to start with a first question. What's the difference between improv when it's so successful, when it's so engaging and captivating and hilarious? What's the difference between improv when it works like that and improv when the show drags on mercilessly forever and ends with the audience and the improvisers being uncomfortable, unsatisfied, maybe even embarrassed? What's the difference between those two kinds of shows? Trust. Trust is the difference between shows that are incredibly successful and shows that are not incredibly successful. We need to have trust as improvisers in ourselves and our creative impulses, regardless of what the audience thinks. We are totally capable of building something that we're proud of. That only happens when we're completely trusting and confident in ourselves and in our scene partners, and remembering that maybe we've seen these people get it wrong before, or maybe the idea that they started out with wasn't great, or it wasn't something that we thought was great at least, but they are more than just that one thing, okay? Maintaining that faith in your scene partner. And then lastly, maintaining faith in this agile process of you bring something, they bring something, you bring something, they bring something. I call these three things the trust tripod. And when any one of those legs of trust is out of place, if we've lost trust in ourselves, our scene partner, or that collaborative process, we make selfish, foolish decisions that are unnecessary. We make choices that are so indicative of someone saying, please laugh, please love me, please like what we're doing. We make those kinds of decisions instead of decisions that are in service to the scene. So, what does this have to do with your ability to lead? If you want to lead a team of people that are building something innovative, that are building something amazing, you have to trust them and they need to trust you. And the only way to do that is to let go of those past situations that are holding you back, that are keeping you from delegating effectively, that are keeping you from pitching really bold ideas, that are keeping you from, communicating clearly and quickly on all the times that you should. When we don't do those things, when we procrastinate in some of those areas, more often than not, the reason we're doing that is pointing us right at the opportunity to forgive someone, and in doing so, unleash a whole new caliber of collaboration and creativity that we did not even know was possible. If you do not trust your scene partner, you cannot build something that you're proud of alongside them. This is where forgiveness comes into play. It's absolutely true that if we are looking back at something that was unjust or unfair, it's going to make us upset. And I'm not interested in trying to pretend like those types of things are okay, because they're not. But that's not what forgiveness is. So, what is forgiveness? I teach that forgiveness is the ability to analyze a situation, to think about what happened, and identify what are the limiting beliefs. If something is upsetting to us, it's because we believe that there is something that is going to hinder our growth, our freedom, our joy in the future. Okay, that is what it is that makes something stand out as an opportunity for forgiveness. So, what I teach as the process of forgiveness is identifying what are those limiting beliefs. What about this situation is causing me to believe that my future joy, growth, or freedom is hindered? And then change that belief. So maybe the belief is that because this person cheated me out of this opportunity, I'm not going to be able to get the opportunities that I need to grow professionally, or whatever the situation is. Yes, you are. Yes, you can. There are an abundance of opportunities. There are an abundance of ways that things can still work out for you. So there are all kinds of examples of situations that happen in the past, limiting beliefs that get rooted in our head about what this means for our future, and they hold us back because they make it impossible for us to fully be in alignment, fully be even on that trust tripod, and that's what it takes to do really amazing work. In order to make sure that I'm entering every single day fully in alignment and fully ready to collaborate well with whoever my scene partners that day will be. There's a process that I go through, and I want to teach that process to you because it's life-changing if you can be diligent in really putting this into practice. So the first thing I do is I sit for even just 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be a very long time. And I allow myself to breathe, and I allow myself to notice, am I feeling any resistance? When I think about the people I will collaborate with today, and I think about that person and I say, this person is a creative genius, or something very affirming about that person, where do I feel resistance? What comes up for me when I picture that person's face in my brain and the words creative genius? And then I allow myself to get curious. That's the next step. Get curious. What's that about? Is there a situation that comes to mind where this person proved to me that they were not trustworthy? Then I reroute in my deep truth. This person is more than how they did that one thing. We all need grace for the journey. Every single one of us says things we shouldn't say. We behave occasionally in ways that are maybe not the most conducive for really effective teamwork. And so we can't wait forever for perfect scene partners, or we'll miss out on the opportunity to build something we're proud of. So I reroute in that deep truth. And then this is when I give myself that new belief, right? I replace the limiting belief that because this person did X, now I can't X. I create a yes and statement to reaffirm the truth that I am holding on to. Yes, this happened, and I can still be, do, and have whatever it is that is in my heart. Or I can still build something I'm very proud of alongside this person. So a yes and forgiveness narrative is what I call it. So once I've done this and I've just allowed myself to think through who are the people I'm going to be collaborating with today, and I allow myself, instead of trying to force myself to feel good when I don't, I allow myself to explore, what is it that's pointing at? What is it that made me feel like I couldn't trust this person? Reroute in the deep truth, and then release with that yes and narrative. I call that the daily forgiveness process. Once we have gotten to that place of forgiveness, once we've worked through those steps and really attached ourselves to a narrative of agency, which is to say, no matter what has happened, other people do not have control over our freedom, growth, and joy. The next step is to decide, is a confrontation in order? There are some really critical things to keep in mind when we decide to confront someone or give them feedback that says, hey, this didn't work for me. And if you would like more information on how to do that, I have a free download available to you. It's called Best Practices for Giving Difficult Feedback. And it's a new revamped document, so I hope you'll take advantage of that free download. So now you've heard from me about what forgiveness means to me and how I go about doing that on a day-to-day basis. You've heard from me about why this is so important if we want to build something that matters. But now I want to hear from you. What does forgiveness mean to you? What do you think forgiveness has to do with effective leadership? If this video was meaningful, I hope that you'll give it a like and share it with someone else who might find it meaningful. And don't forget to take advantage of that free download. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!